In this lesson, let's talk about how HTML and CSS, or cascading style sheets, work together. So what you're seeing on screen right now is what our blog site is going to look like. You'll be able to go in and customize it yourself afterwards if you want to switch out with your own photos and your own copy, but for this exercise we're going to be using exactly what you see here on screen as the finished product. What I've done is I've gone in and I've also opened up the code so we can take a look at it. If you want to do that in your own browser, you're looking for the terminology that says View Source. I'm in Chrome on the Mac, so under the View menu, when I go to Developer, I'm able to view my source. You'll be able to find it in your own browser as well. It might just be in a different location. So here I'm going to go in and take a look at the source code, and I wanted to point out to you, we've mentioned in another lesson that your style sheets are located in the head section. So there are three different types of style sheets. The one we're using in here is called an external style sheet. It's a separate file that we tell the web page to reference to make the type look the way we want it to look. So it's an external file that is linked to the HTML page. The advantage to that is that we can update it later by simply updating that external file, and all the pages within the website that use that file will automatically have their formatting updated. It's so much easier than having to go in and change 20 web pages on our own. So what I wanted to point out to you is here I'm in the head section. Here is the head tag, and here is the close head tag. So within the head section, this is where we link and reference to this CSS file. It's an external file. I right-clicked on it and told it to open in a new window, and that's what I'm seeing here. So this is the actual CSS file. As I said, it's an external file. It has a CSS extension, and this has all the formatting in it that we're using throughout our site. For example, here is a particular one, the H1 tag. Any place where the H1 tag is used in the copy is going to look serifed. So we're giving it a few choices of fonts to use. We're telling it to use Georgia. If you can't find Georgia, then use Times New Roman. If you can't find Times New Roman, use Times. And if all else fails, use your default serif font. We're telling it what size we want it to be. We're mentioning that we want it to be bold, and here's the color that we want it to have. So that would be anywhere on this site where you see this large text right here. We're telling it what color we want it to be, what size, and so forth. So I just wanted to show you that that's how HTML and CSS work together. We're setting up our web pages in HTML5, but we're using CSS in an external file to help format our text and make it easy for us later if we decide to make any changes. So if I wanted to change this text and make it bright yellow throughout 20 different web pages, I would just go back to that CSS style sheet, go in and change it there, and it automatically updates on all the pages. So that's an example of how HTML and CSS can work together.